Okay, please, let's just stop the clock. I'm just going to get through this. We've seen this before. Going over it again, just to revise this thing. Okay, so unitary method, as the name implies, it's all about finding a unit of something, as in a single thing. And basically what it is, whether you're working with percentages or fractions, you're trying to find what one part out of the whole has as a value. Yeah, because if you know what 1% is, what the value of 1% is, or you know what one part of a fraction is as a quantity, you know what it is, you can work out the whole. You can work out what 100% is, you can work out what half is, you can work out all sorts of things. Right, so the idea is if you're given an amount, a quantity, a weight or something, or amount of money, and you also know how many percent of the total this quantity is, then we can use the unitary method, find out what 1% is, and then find out what 100% is. Alright, so it's very good method to have, fairly obvious, I think, that you can sort of think it through, it's sort of logical, and you think, okay, find what 1% and then find what 100% is. Okay, so I'm going to show you these examples, not just with percentages, but with fractions as well, and then we'll do the work. I'll do some time tomorrow to do some of this as well as a couple of other things. Alright, so if you have a look at the first example, it says 4/5 of a number is 96. Alright, what is that number? So what we've got to think about is, well, this number 96 is 4 parts out of 5. Alright? So what I think is, using this method, I think, well, I want to find out what 1 part out of 5 is. How am I going to find out what 1 part out of 5 is? Divided by, math, huh? Well, remember, it's 4 parts. Yes. You go ahead and use that method. I'm doing it different. Alright, that's good. 2 parts. Yeah, you divide it by 4. If it's 4 parts is this much, I can find out what 1 part is. So to find 1 part, okay, and that is a perfectly legitimate way of doing it. Let's put it on record. That was okay to do it. To find 1 part, divided by 4. We're trying to find a number, which is the whole. Okay. So if we do 96 divided by 4, that's 24. So 1 part is 24. How do I find what 5 parts is? How do I find it? Okay. So to find 5 parts, we do 24 times 5, and it equals 120. Okay? Any questions about what I've done here? No? So straightforward. You're finding what 1 part is, working out what the whole is. Alright? The dress costs $140 and is outrage. And is 60% of the original price. What was the original price? Alright, so again, we've got to say this dress is 140 is 60%. So the question is, how do I find what 1% is? Yeah, if 60% is this price, if I divide it by 60, I'll find what 1% is. Okay? So 60% is $140. So if I divide this by 60, that's 1%. Right? If I'm going down this arrow here. So I've got to do the same thing for this. I divide it by 60, what do I get? 140 divided by 60. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't look Oh, yeah, I think divided by 4 times. So I get that. You know, what do I say? So 2.3 rupees. So we'll just get back to this quickly, and then I'll talk about the other one, answer any questions. So $2.33, that's what 1% equals to. 1%, that's right. So to go from 1% up to 100%, we have to times by 100. Okay, so 100% equals $2.33 times 100. That equals $233. And so that's my answer. So if the dress is $140, that is 60% of the original price. The original price is $233. Alright, question? No? Alright, so what was that question? Right, yeah, so what I meant by this is you can't divide it by 5 first. You have to divide it by 4 and times by 5. What you can divide it by, 4/5 of a number is 96. If you multiply it by, if you divide it by 5 over, no, if you divide it by 4/5, no, don't worry. This method is fine. This is the way I think about it. I can do it like this. As soon as people start saying different things, I get confused sometimes. Something happened in an earlier lesson today, and I got confused by multiplication. We all have our moments. I promise you, I have a degree in math. Don't worry. You don't believe me, is that what you're saying? Alright, last one. The price.
No, hey.
The price for a computer increased by 23% to $780. What was the price before the increase? Alright? The price of the computer is increased by 23% to $780. What was the price before? So if you think about it, when you have 100%, you increase it by 23%, it becomes 123%. Okay, so 123% is $780. Okay, so to go from this to 1%, we have to divide by 123. And so we have to do the same with the 780. What is it? $6.31. So to find 100% equals $6.31 times 100, which is equal to $631. Okay, 6.4, whatever it is, that's fine, thank you. Alright, so that's the method. Any questions? It's alright. Let me loose on this. Okay, so it's exercise 1.18, odd question.